Thank you guys for tuning in today to Behind the Scenes with Al Rucker. I got a special guest for you today. This is gonna be a lot of fun. I got one of my best friends, not just best friend in the industry, but he's one of my best friends. And I'm gonna say, we talk about a lot of things. We're gonna talk about a lot of stuff today. And I've been waiting to get him on here, so we're gonna cover it. And sure enough, we got Tim Thorne. Man, what's going on?
I'm good.
Man, I know you're good. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
You ready? So we're going to ask some questions. You're going to have to tell me what's going on. But man, listen, everybody out there who don't know Tim Thorne, tell them what they need to know about Tim Thorne. And the bottom line of it is, if you out there and you a fashionista and you want to learn how to dress and you need somebody to help you dress, this is the guy that's going to do it. This guy helps me. He's helped the Silver Fox Squad. He's done a lot. But I'm gonna let him tell it because I can go on forever and ever and won't give him an opportunity to share what he needs to share. But talk to us, man. Tell us about Tim Thorne.
I'm just a high school janitor, that's all.
Oh, no, man. You sound like the guy back to who's taping us saying this same thing. No, you ain't no high school janitor.
I had to steal that from him.
You had to steal it from him. But no, tell us, man, because me and you been knowing each other, what? 10 years? It's been about 10 years.
At least that many.
Yeah, it don't seem like it's been that long.
Yeah, at least that many.
It's been that long, but every time, the first time I met you, you basically impressed me with your style, on how you dress. And this is not just a style that he's wearing because he's on camera or anything like that. Tim dressed like this all the time. He don't have a downtime. This is how he dresses all the time. But talk to us, man. Tell us about Paisley 360. What's going on with that?
Yes, Paisley 360 is my brand. And the simplest way to explain who I am or what I do is I do all things fashion. So whether it's model coaching, whether it's styling, whether it's designing the shirt, pant, or from the Paisley 360 collection, whether it's putting together, producing fashion shows, just everything fashion. Yeah.
So, you said, so basically what you have on is from your brand.
Yes.
So again, which I've been trying to get you to put your stuff in my store, which you ain't did it yet. But where do people, if they want to get Paisley 360, where do they go? They go to the website. Where do they go?
Well, the website is down temporarily right now, but you can always contact me through social media. And I don't mass produce items, meaning that this is everything I wear is like one of a kind.
Okay.
And I really like that exclusivity. And I know with styling people on your level, whenever they go places, they don't want to see somebody else in the same thing at the same, you know what I'm saying?
No.
At the same time. So I'm still in that exclusivity type of vibe to where I just like doing just signature pieces.
Yeah. So, I've been watching on Instagram, I've been watching on TikTok. Tell me about the model. I'm seeing you teaching models on how to walk and what's that's all about and what is it for?
Yes. Well, I was asked by this management company, Dexterity Talent Management Company, that's based here in Houston, Texas, a year ago. And they had an opportunity to send some of their models to the British Virgin Islands in the month of July. They have this huge fashion show, which is an international fashion show called Summer Sizzle. And they have designers from all over the world that come. And so they had an opportunity to send like 6 of their guys. And so they needed somebody to teach them how to do high fashion modeling. And so I was referred to them. And so from there, they like what I do. They saw the results because those guys went over there and they killed it. So this year, they want more of their models. They want male and females this year.
Wow.
And so we did New York Fashion Week in September of last year, their first time, and also this February. And in a year's time, we've had models in Vogue. We currently have a guy that's modeling for Dolce & Gabbana and Lululemon. Because they do have a men's version of Lululemon, and they killed New York Fashion Week. The production team at one of the largest shows in New York wanted every one of their models to model, and I think it was about 12 of them that went.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it is.
So So how long are you gonna be doing this project? Is this a project that they hired you for a time frame, or are you gonna be doing this continuously up?
Right. They've hired me for, I do semesters now.
Okay.
So I just completed last Wednesday, I just completed the spring semester model coaching class.
Yeah.
And so then we'll do a summer version this summer.
Yeah. So if someone wants to be a part of this class, how do they get a part of this class? Do they contact you, or do they contact
they can contact Dexterity Talent and get signed up, register, and they'll get all the information on when the class will start, what the fees are to be a part of the class, and what the class that consists of.
Wow, man, that's a good thing to be a part of.
And then I also do private model coaching as well, even for women who want to get into pageantry. Yeah.
That's new. That is new.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a new hustle going on there.
Yeah.
So, so tell me, man, I sent you a text the other day about on TikTok for the and make sure I get it right, Brother Husband. Now this is a show that just launched, and you told me every time we went to California, you was going to California, but you ain't tell me why you was going until it came out. And I was looking on TikTok because I follow the show, and it's very entertaining, and it's hard to believe that this one woman has two husbands. And I think on one episode, I see she's trying to add a third person involved in the whole 9 yards. Tell us about that. What was you doing with that show? Because it's funny, man. I seen you on the episode and I sent you a text and said, hey, man, you know what I'm saying? Tell us about that show, man.
Right. Well, the show, of course, it's a reality TV show,
It
right?
is a reality TV show.
But their lives are real.
That's crazy, man.
Their lives are real, and they are some of the most incredible people that you ever want to meet. And how I got involved with them, it's a guy here that I know by the name of Michael Yant, who is a stylist and so forth. And so they were looking for a stylist to help them
Coordinate
for the show, right?
Yeah.
And so he was like, only person I know that could really get you, where you need to be is, Paisley 360. And so that's how I connected. And we instantly just connected. Of course, it's the show is really based on what men have always done. Having, a wife, side chicks, and all that kind of stuff.
True.
So it's just a flip version. And so I think that's why there's a lot of conversation about it, because in our culture, we're just not used to seeing women being outwardly having multiple partners.
Yeah, the crazy part to me is her first husband. He seems cool with all this.
Yes.
But so the question I got for you is, does he have a side chick?
Yes, he does.
Okay, see, that's the part I'm missing then.
Yes.
So he got to have a side chick. Yeah, he cool with it then.
Yes. So that's the whole point of it, is poly.
Okay. Yeah, so that makes sense now, because you see this TV show, you see this woman. She is pretty in the face, but I seen the full body picture of her, and she ain't all that. I'm trying to figure out how is she juggling 3 men, and it may be more as the show goes on. We may see more people involved. I'm trying to figure out, how does she have the capacity to say, I want you, and I'm gonna bring in somebody else, and you sleeping in the room, now you gotta move out and go to your own room because I want my privacy, and I'm bringing in this other guy, and I'm sitting up here, how does these 2 men sit up there and go through that?
Well, I'm not the best to explain the whole thing because it was new to me when I started working with them. But I guess if I could explain it, is that they really are more about relationships. Because they do have a company, Progressive Academy, and they really teach people how to navigate relationships, whether it's in a poly situation or whether it's in a monogamous situation. And one of the things that I have to say about them is that they do have, they teach a lot on how to divorce-proof your marriage. Because that's a big thing right now. People are getting divorced. Married couples are getting divorced like crazy.
Yeah, they are. They just
and a lot of times it's based on finances, sex, and that kind of thing. Those are like the top 2. So if you have somebody that can come in to help you to navigate, because what I have found out with talking to them and talking to other people is that if you've been in a relationship, 20, 30 years, you're not the same person you were then. No. And so sometimes people don't want to accept that, embrace it. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, no, you don't do it for me anymore.
Yeah.
But then you can't go out and have somebody else because you're violating the relationship, and so that's one of the things that I know that they help people to navigate. Whether they want to go in a poly situation or do they want to stay monogamous, these are the tools that you would need to stay monogamous, to divorce-proof your marriage. So, and I was sharing that with them one day, and I was just saying how people don't really see the depth of what you guys really do.
Yeah.
They just see what the reality TV is going to show you.
Yeah.
And so when you were referring to like how she looked, I mean, you could say the same thing about some of these men. Like, how in the world you get that?
Which is true.
You got a big pot belly, and you just, like, the new word now is dusty. You just look dusty.
Yeah, you look dusty. No, I understand that. Yeah, but I'm just saying at the end of the day, you look. But the show is very entertaining. So, what's the plans moving forward with that? Are you gonna be a part of? You still gonna be part of the show?
Absolutely. They're waiting to give the green light to start shooting season 2.
Wow.
Yeah, because the ratings were really good. The
ratings are good because her Instagram is not Instagram, her TikTok is crazy. You wish they only had their TikTok.
Yeah.
But they on the network TikTok and they kind of show all the show. Yes. But if she had her own TikTok, she have 1,000. She probably has her own TikTok. She hadn't released it yet because they got the company that they do this. So I'm sure they do. I'm gonna have to look for it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look for it.
It's like, I think the first episode ranked like number 2 out of reality TV shows.
No, it was really a good show.
Yeah.
Really a good show. I'm still trying to figure out how she finding these men that volunteer to do this.
Listen, this is 2023.
It is 23. It feels like it's 24.
People are not thinking. And another thing too, I want to share about that too is that, and I had the conversation with them as well, is how that these Gen Zs, that's the way they think right now.
Well, they do think like that. True. That is true.
So if we don't start looking at it and start kind of like, considering it, have a conversation about it, it'll throw you off 10 years from now, because these Gen Zs, that's exactly how many of them are moving.
Yeah, which is true. You see some of the celebrities, and you see a lot with the celebrities that comes out, and you be like, I love this person because who they are and what it may been. And it could be a male, and he's talking about another male, but he's not considering himself where he considers himself, and I don't want to say the word, but he doesn't see himself just being strictly with men. He's with men and women.
Yeah, bi.
He's bi, but he's with both of them, and he expresses that. And when he goes into a new relationship, he's letting the person know that. Right. Yeah. So, and they all accepting that.
Right.
That's crazy, man.
And see, that's one of the things about a lot of the millennials and the Gen Z is that they will let you know up front.
They will let you know up front.
So you have to make the decision. Do you want to be a part of this or not? Because if not, we're going to keep it rolling.
Yeah. You know? Well, I'll be keeping rolling. I ain't gonna deal with that one. You get with a woman and she been with a woman and a man. Well, maybe it's different for women. A man is totally different. You can't say a woman, who knows? Anyway, we're gonna let it be that anyway. But check it out though, man. So, we got some friends who we deal with, the Silver Fox Squad. They come into the shop and they frequent here a lot. And I was talking to you probably a couple of weeks ago, and I asked you, was you still part of them? You said no. I did not know that. And we friends. We're friends. And I know I'm not going to ask you why it would have been, but what was the experience working with them and going through the process of that? Because I seen you guys was in New Orleans, Miami. How was that whole process? It seemed fun. Yeah,
it really was a lot of fun because they are really some incredible guys.
Yeah.
And they come from different parts of the country, and they're really, really, really some incredible guys. I had a lot of fun just working with them and just, making them look like global fashion influencers.
Yeah.
And so even, traveling to Washington, D.C., to Miami. And I think Miami really, really kind of catapulted them, because when we did the yacht and, they paid for to have professional media there with the what do you call the
drone?
The drone and all of that. You know, that you got to be good.
Yeah.
Because other than that, your drone would be in the water at some point.
Yeah,
you know,
that is crazy.
And so just all the different times that I was with them. I was with them for like about a year and a half from the inception up until like last summer.
Wow.
And so just a very, very good experience.
So, you know, and I know we're talking about all the experiences that you have. Does this, when I know the answer to this, but does it help you build your resume? And when you're talking to other companies about when they call you, like the one that from TLC, call you, they got recommended by this other guy. You know, are you giving them the layout of what you've done and who you work with and all that stuff in the past?
Yeah, I'll list some people. And I think the people that I do list or show them, they can see the work.
Yeah.
And usually just with people going to my gram, you know, they're like, I just like just the way you look.
This is the way you look, yeah.
You know, so I know you know what you're doing. Yeah. You know.
So where did you get the training for that? What happened? How did you just come up with this? How did you become? Now, we had this conversation before,
right.
But how did you become a stylist?
Beyonce. She never went to Berkeley School of Music or Juilliard. It's just in her. And that's the thing I have to tell people because they're always so shocked because they just know I went to Parsons Fashion School and, you know, learn all this kind of stuff. But no, it's just some things are just in you. Yeah. Like some of the best singers that have graced this planet and that are still on this planet never went to a music school. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
It's just a gift.
Yeah.
You know, that gift that they have, you know. And so I look at it the same way. I've always loved fashion. When I was in middle school, you know, I was the weird looking kid because I'm like dressing like on a runway kind of stuff. And I remember one of my teachers was like, your mom let you leave the house looking like that? You know, it's like, yeah, you know. But and then I'm glad too that I had my grandmother and my mom, you know, they were very embracing to let me, you know,
to do you.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it right now, it's like even when someone is someone goes out and they want to dress like a Tim Thorne, and they decide, okay, I'm gonna go out here. They don't have the money to hire Tim Thorne with him at Ben. What should they look for when they trying to spruce up their environment or spruce up the look that they have? What should they look for first? Well,
it's just like, you know, I always tell people like when they're not really sure what it is that they like, I tell them to go to Pinterest. And so the same thing about me, by the time they come to me, they already like what they see.
Okay.
And so they kind of feel like I can help them. And once we sit down and have a consultation and I start spitting out some stuff to them, then they're like, okay, I like what you're saying.
Yeah.
You know, because one thing I don't ever try to dress somebody like me.
That's true.
Unless they say, I want to wear everything you wear. Okay, but we'll do that.
Yeah, which is true because at the end of the day, when we first started working together, and, you know, for me to come to you and say, hey, Tim, help me dress. And then I don't give you a style that I want. You kind of go through the experiment of buying this, buying that. And I say, no, I don't like that. I like this. And then once you get to that point, you see what I like, you already know what to buy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when you have clients like that, like me, how hard is it to go out and buy stuff that they want? You mean to buy the stuff that they want and make sure, because you spending a lot of money. You go out and buy the clothes, bring them back, and then I sit there and you buy 6 or 7 outfits. I may choose 2. And now you got to take the other 4 back, or you'll sell them to another client or whatever it been. How's the experience in working with all that, and what's the pain working through all that? Because I know sometimes it gets on your nerves.
Well, it hasn't really, because when people come to me, and I do get this a lot, where they say, I can't afford you. You never even asked me what my price is.
Yeah.
So already, if you say you can't afford me, you really can't afford me.
Yeah, because you already right. You pinpointed it out.
And let me add this in there too, because very few people know this. If a person comes to me and they say, I want, you know, you to style me, and then they start questioning me like, who are some of the celebrities that you do? If you keep digging for that, my price for you goes up 3 times.
I can see so.
Because now in my mind, I'm saying you only want me for the people that you know I've worked with or touched. versus my skill set.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're going to be a waste of my time right now because you don't really want my skill set. You just want the image of me, or the name of me.
That makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, one question I've been asking myself this, and I don't think I've asked you this publicly, and I may have. Why haven't you opened your own store?
It's a headache.
It is.
And then I'm moving too much, because prior to COVID, I was in China twice a year, so it's like, when you're moving about a lot, I can't be there, on a regular to keep it open.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so right now, like at this moment, that's not a goal of mine right now. But let's say maybe 6 months from now, I may get an epiphany and say, hey, let's do this.
Yeah. Open up a store.
And then I still like the exclusivity of it. And I haven't gotten to that point yet where I'm putting out stuff designs that quickly,
But I think at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, your designs are beautiful. Everything that you touch is beautiful. Stuff even you go by other people's stuff and you bring it back, the way you put it together is exclusive. Let's say, for instance, my store. I do the same scenario. I go out and buy various hats. I do make my own hats. Those sell very well. But why wouldn't you put it into a store and you say, like the shirt you made, and you say it's one of a kind, you make that one. And you make that one in a certain length and somebody comes in and say, I like that shirt. And the arms are too long, it wouldn't have been. And then at the end of the day, it comes to the fact where you say, okay, you can resize it to where it fits them and all that kind of stuff like that. I think that'll be a good asset, or if it, to a point to where if you say, just say here at Hatitude, we got a section over there and that's Paisley 360, Tim Thorne's. And you may have 10 pieces over there. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah, it sounds like it's easy, but I'm thinking like, because I get it a lot. I get it from like plus size guys. Like, when you gonna start making stuff for us? I'm like, I don't know, Well, see, and this is the thing, because I have that same scenario. I got guys coming here, because I carry suits, and all the suits we have now, we got a new line of suits coming in. And they come in and be like, hey, do you carry, I'm a 54. And I was like, you know what? Let me show you the suits that we have in 54 sizes. And I'll show them some suits. And if they want that particular suit, then they got to order it. And I get it in within, 3-4 days, maybe a week at the most. But they get what they want. They getting what they want. I'm getting what I want, and the whole 9 yards. So that's what I'm trying to say. So at the end of the day, I'm sitting there trying to get him to, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, I don't understand why you wouldn't do that. Because, instance, like you say, you don't have the time to be at the store. I'm at the store all the time. You know I'm here all the time. And then when I'm not here, I'm traveling the way I've been and all that. If you took a section over there, like I have that rack over there, you say, okay, that's Paisley 360, and you put various styles in there, and somebody comes in and they like it, either I or my worker can take their measurements and say, okay, we need to reduce this by this size. Okay. And that's it. Yeah, you could do that. And maybe I'll consider that,
Yeah, I think so. I think, and the reason why I'm saying it is, I'm not saying it because not whoever you chose to put your style there, that's who you chose. Right. But I'm just saying at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, it is more appeasing for your brand, and it's going to get your brand
to be present.
There you go. Yeah. To be present out there, because people come in all the time. People gonna come to you all the time and be looking, be searching and stuff like that.
Oh, that happens all the time.
Yes.
And I say that it's inspiration, that I'm inspiration to a lot of guys, because they'll come to my page and try to get some ideas on what to do, what's new, what's different.
Yeah.
Like for example, this fabric, I was in New York for Fashion Week, and I always live in the garment district because when I walk out of my hotel, I'm right there by all the fabric shops, right? And so when I saw this fabric, I'm like, oh wow, I already knew this would be a perfect shirt. Yeah. And it's Paisley.
Yeah, it is. No, it's not. Yeah, Paisley 360. No, it's very nice shirt. Very nice shirt. Yeah. But at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, what is your goal when it comes to the fashion industry? And I say the fashion industry because you cover everything dealing with the fashion industry. You're not just someone who's going to dress you or style you or whatever it been. You someone who's making an impact in the fashion industry. You know, you basically inspired me when we started Attitude. You know, you helped me when we got Attitude started. And here it is, you know, 6 years later, we have exploded to one of the national hat brands in the country. So everybody orders hats from Attitude.
I
and stuff
remember
like
that.
You remember that?
You were up in Cyprus.
Yeah.
And I came in and changed the wall color.
Color and everything, yeah. No,
Okay.
you was very inspirational to us. So you helped me a lot, you know, with that. Even that, Lawrence McQueen, you guys helped me with that. So at the end of the day, I'm never gonna forget that. And I say at the end of the day, when we started our suit line, which I have the suits coming in, which I got to consult with you some more to get some more details on that. We, you know, it's kind of like we have a partnership, but we haven't really sat down and said, okay, hey, this is what we're gonna do and sign the dotted line. So you got a partnership over here to where you just got to get to the point where you're working with it. But what's your goal? What's your plans in the future when it comes to the retail side?
I would love to have my designs, you know, present, and I know that it's going to happen. Yeah, you know, and so you're kind of, you know, pushing me a little bit to say it doesn't have to be a full thing, but maybe a few pieces. Yeah, and you can just stick to one, you know, kind of size for right now until you kind of start feeling it. So I do feel like that I will start considering that more and maybe looking to do more pieces that, you know, the common man would enjoy, because I believe a common man would love this pattern. No, for sure. This color, this pattern, you know, this design. No, for sure. I mean, I like that. The paisley is awesome, man. I like the color, I like the style of it. You're going to have to make me one like that. I like that. That's definitely it. Well, man, it was definitely a pleasure, man, dealing with you, Tim. I definitely had to get you on here. And I know it's always fun talking to you. We can talk forever. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I appreciate you coming on to the Al Rucker, not the Al Rucker show. I get that mixed up all the time because the Al Rucker show is a radio show. Right. So it ain't the Al Rucker show, it's behind the scenes with the Al Rucker. So I'm talking to Tim Thorne. It's been a pleasure talking to you. 360, all the stuff that you have going on. And to give the people your Instagram and how they can get in touch with you. Yes, my Instagram is Paisley360. And that's the best way to reach me. Just DM me. If you see anything on my page that inspires you, you know, like it. And, you know, if you need my help with anything, whether it's all things fashion. So whether we do, and you remember I've done photo shoots with you. Yes, so, yes. Which that's part of my modeling classes that I teach posing. Yeah. You know. Well, that's why I say, you know, that's why I say when it comes down to the fashion industry, you cover it all. You know, it's been plenty of times I picked the phone and called you, said, man, I got to do this photo shoot. And you came along and you helped me do the photo shoot. So I appreciate that. And like I said, we're going to get this suit line off the ground because I got to come in the next couple of weeks and we're going to make it happen. So there it is, man. I appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in to Behind the Scenes with Al Rucker. Today's guest is Tim Thorne. Next week, we'll have another amazing guest for you. So keep it tuned in right here at Behind the Scenes with Al Rucker.